Hello students, I am Priya from Sinatal School, Hulubidu, Adversity. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to the first teleclass of grade 11 biology. In today's teleclass, we'll be mainly focusing on Introduction to International Advanced Level Biology. So the learning objective for today's session will be, you will be able to identify the important sections of the new specification and how to go about learning the subject. So in this session, we'll be discussing about some of the key features of this new specification, such as structure, content, assessment, approach, and few of the resources that are needed to complete this qualification. So let's discuss about each of these key features in detail. The first one that I'll be discussing with you is about the structure of this qualification. So this qualification consists of two modular qualification levels. The first one is International Advanced Subsidiary, which will be taught in your grade 11 biology. And the second level is International Advanced Level, that is IA2, which will be taught in grade 12 biology. So in order to claim the IAS qualification, you need to complete the 3 units that falls under this level, and in the same way, in order to claim the overall IAL qualification certificate, you need to complete all the 6 units over a period of 2 years. So from here, we'll be discussing about these levels in detail and also about the units that falls under these qualifications. As I said, there are 2 levels, and under the first level IAS, you can see 3 units, that is unit 1, 2 and 3. And IA2 in the same way has 3 units, that is unit 4, 5 and 6. You can see in the slide there are specific codes that are given to each of these units. These are paper codes and they are very helpful from your exam point of view, as you need them to search for the exam resources such as past papers, marking schemes, examiner's reports and other needed resources to complete this qualification. Okay, now let's see about each of these unit or the content view in detail. But before getting into that, let's see about what are the contents that will be taught in your course. You can see in the slide, there are topics such as cells, diet, respiration, coordination, biodiversity, and so on. Most of you will be familiar with most of these topics because you would have learned them in your previous grades. But when it comes to A level, they'll be taught in much more advanced level. Okay, so now let's see about the content overview. So as I said, this qualification, that is IAS, consists of 3 units. Unit 1, that is molecules, diet, transport and health. Unit 2, cell development, biodiversity and conservation. And Unit 3, practical skills in biology. Unit 1 consists of 2 topics. Topic 1 is molecules, transport and health. Topic 2 is membrane, protein, DNA and gene expression. In the same way, Unit 2 consists of 2 topics. Topic 3, cell structure, reproduction and development. Topic 4, plant structure and function, biodiversity and conservation. Unit 3 is practical skills in biology. That is, what all the practical skills or the techniques that you learn in Unit 1 and Unit 2, you will be applying that when it comes to Unit 3. Okay, so next we will be seeing about the content and assessment overview for each of these units. Let's start with Unit 1. So if you really want to score some good marks in your exams, you should be familiar with this part of the specification. So as you see here for Unit 1, it is the first externally assessed theory paper, and this paper has a duration of 1 hour 30 minutes. The mark allotted for this paper is 80. So as students, it is important for you to know the type of questions that you get in your exam. So here the paper may include multiple choice questions, short answers, open response, math calculations, and extended writing questions. Yes, I mentioned math calculations. That is, you will be getting a minimum of 8 marks of your target math question. We all know that being science students, we can never ignore math in any of the science subjects. So in all the bio papers, throughout this qualification level, you will be getting target math questions in each of the unit paper. So here in this paper, you will be expected to apply your knowledge and understanding to familiar and unfamiliar context. This paper contributes to 40% of the total IAS and 20% of the total IAL qualification. So now let's see about Unit 2 Content and Assessment Overview. Unit 2 is more or less the same like Unit 1 when it comes to the structure of the questions, when it comes to the duration, when it comes to the marks, and also the percentage that it contributes to each qualification level, except for the content and the concept that is taught under Unit 2. So here also you will be getting a minimum of 8 marks of target math. So if you want to know the details of this mathematical concepts, you can refer to Appendix 6 of the specification. Okay, now let's see about Unit 3. Unit 3, as I said, it's practical skills in biology, and here the duration is 1 hour 20 minutes. And the total marks allotted for this paper is 50. So in this unit, you will be assessed based upon your knowledge and understanding of the experimental procedures and techniques that you developed from Unit 1 and Unit 2. So you need to develop those practical knowledge when it comes to Unit 3. So here also you will have a minimum of 5 marks from target math questions. So again I will mention, if you want to know the details, kindly refer to Appendix 6 that is there in the specification. So here you will be expected to apply your knowledge and understanding of practical skills to both familiar and unfamiliar situations. This paper also contributes to 20% of the total IAS level and 10% of the total IAL level. So next we will be seeing about. Okay, as we have already discussed about the content and assessment overview, now you all will have some idea about the paper, that is how many units are there under each of the level and how many total units you have to complete over the course of this 2 years. So in the further slides, I'll be discussing about assessment objectives, unit results, and how the marks will be awarded for each of these units in order to complete your entire IAL qualification. Alright, let's see about the sample assessment material. If you want to access this sample assessment material, you can access from the Edexcel website. If not, you can find this link in the Philal portal because a copy of this presentation will be there in that portal. So it's easy for you to reach this link through that portal. Okay. So next let's see about assessment objectives and weightage. So assessment objectives. Now if you see, this slide has 3 assessment objectives: Objective 1, Objective 2 and Objective 3. So these assessment objectives are very important because the questions in your exam falls under any of these 3 objectives. Objective 1 is demonstrate knowledge and understanding of science. Objective 2 is application of knowledge and understanding of science in familiar and unfamiliar contexts. This objective 2 has one more category, that is analysis and evaluation of scientific information to make judgments and reach conclusions. And objective 3 is experimental skills in science, including analysis and evaluation of data and methods. Okay, I'm talking all big terms, but no need to worry about these terms because as you practice the past paper, you will get to know about each of these objectives, that is the level of the questions, through the command words that is there in the questions. Yes, I'm mentioning about command words. So these command words are very important to identify these objectives in your exam paper. So as I mentioned about command words, we should also have some knowledge of what are these command words are. So let's see what are these command words. They are nothing but the nature of the answer that is expected from you by your examiner. So whole of your qualification papers have more or less the use of most of the command words. So a full list of command words that will be used in your assessment across your IAL and IAS is found in Appendix 7. If not, you can access to this specification by clicking the link below, or you can simply download from Edexcel website. Okay. As we don't have enough time to discuss about all the command words that is given in the list, I have taken few examples here as you can see. Okay, I will go with the first example which says add or label. So this add or label command word falls under AO1. That is the first objective that requires only to demonstrate your knowledge about a particular concept. Okay, so say for example, simply when a diagram is given, you will be asked to label them. That's it. So that requires only your knowledge. But when it comes to the last two command words, let's take that. Describe and explain. You can see these command words you would have come across in your paper. There are a huge difference between describe and explain. Okay, let me make you understand through a simple example. I will show you a ripe mango and I will ask you to describe about this ripe mango. What will you be doing or how will you answer this question? Let's think. Okay, so yes, you may be talking about the size, you may be talking about the color or how the mango appears and all these things, right? Because you are describing about that ripe mango. I will ask you another question. Explain how this mango ripe. Okay, or explain what caused this mango to ripe. What will be your answer? Yeah, here you cannot state about again the same thing like size and color and so on. If so, your answer will be wrong. You need to explain about the chemical or the enzymatic reaction that caused this mango to ripe. So now you understand the difference between describe and explain. Okay, so hope you have some idea about these command words, because these command words, as I said, are very important from exam point of view. Okay, so next we'll be seeing about, alright, now we will be seeing about unit results. So you may not be familiar with the unit results in IAL yet. So I'm going to discuss about the unit results of unit 1, 2 and 3. Earlier you would have seen about the marks that I have showed you will be 80. Say for example, unit 1 I said the mark allocated is 80, unit 2 the mark allocated is 80 and unit 3 is 50 marks. But those marks are just raw marks. Here they are being converted into uniform marks which are out of 120 marks for each of these units. That is unit 1 and unit 2. And unit 3 the maximum uniform mark is 60. So when you get your results, you will get a slip where you will see these marks on it, not the raw marks. Okay. And also to get an A in unit 1 and 2, you need to have 96 marks and above. And when it comes to unit 3, you should have 48 marks and above. Okay. So next let's see about the qualification results. So qualification results, what I mean here is the IAS qualification. That is what the result you will get at the end of grade 11. So those results are calculated based upon this maximum uniform mark again, which is overall 300 marks. As I said, unit 1 is 120 and unit 2 is 120 plus unit 3 is 60 marks. So that together makes 300 marks. Your IAS does not have A star. It is only till A grade. So in order to get A grade in total of your IAS qualification, you need to get 240 marks and above. Okay, let's see about IAL. Okay, now that we saw about IAS, we are going to see about the unit results for IAL. So if you see here for IAL, the maximum uniform mark is 600. So to be awarded an A star, you will need to achieve an A for the IAL, that is at least 480 uniform marks, and at least 90% of the total uniform marks available across the IA2 units combined. Okay, so hope you have some clear idea about the unit results. Next, let's see about awarding and reporting. So here we all know that ultimately when we get the results, everything will be in grade wise. So here your results will be graded on a 5-scale grade, that is from A to E. So a pass in an international advanced subsidiary subject is indicated by any one of these 5 grades, that is either A, B, C, D, E. Out of which we know the highest grade is A and the lowest grade is E. Next, let's see about the approach. So here, approach mainly indicates about what are the skills that will be developed during this course of 2 years. So skills such as biological skills, that is the knowledge and understanding of the biological concepts, and these concepts you should be able to apply in variety of contexts. You will also be developing mathematical skills and practical skills. So let's see about each of these in detail. So when it comes to mathematical skills, the assessment of quantitative skills will include at least 10% of level 2 or above mathematical skills. So these skills will be applied only in biology context, so nothing to worry about that. So all mathematical contents will be assessed within the lifetime of the qualification, that is within this period of 2 years. There is no separate exam for this mathematical skills as it will be embedded in your exam paper itself. So details of these mathematical concepts are provided in Appendix 6 of the specification, or you can access to these links. You can get them from the Pearson Edexcel website. So now let's see about the practical skills. You are expected to develop the experimental skills, knowledge and understanding of these experimental techniques throughout this qualification. So some of the practical skills identified for assessment are to solve problems set in a particular context, to apply scientific knowledge to practical context, to comment on experimental design and evaluate scientific methods, to present data in appropriate ways, to evaluate results and draw conclusions with reference to measurement, uncertainties and errors, identify variables including those that must be controlled, and plot and interpret the graphs. Okay, so these are some of the practical skills that are identified over this course of 2 years which will be assessed. Okay, so next, when it comes to exam point of view, these are the 3 areas that you need to keep in mind. Plan and experiment. So what do you mean by planning and experiment? So here the question includes identify the apparatus required, identify the dependent and independent variables, standardize or controlled variables, describe how to measure relevant variables using the most appropriate instrument and correct measuring techniques, identify and state how to control all other relevant variables to make it a fair test, discuss whether repeating readings are appropriate. So these are the expected things from your exam point of view when it comes to the area of plan and experiment. The next is implementation and measurements. So under this, you will be asked to comment on the number of readings taken, comment on the range of measurements taken, or sometimes you'll be asked to comment on significant figures, check a reading that is inconsistent with other readings. For example, say a point that is not on the line of graph. Sometimes they will ask you to comment on how the experiment may be improved, that is possibly by using additional apparatus in order to reduce the errors that occur during the experiments. So these are the things that you will be asked when it comes to the second area, that is implementation and measurement. The third will be processing results. Yes. So here you will be asked to perform the calculations, Using the correct numbers of significant figures that is given to you, plot results on a graph using an appropriate scale, use the correct units throughout, comment on the relationship obtained from the graph, determine the relationship between two variables, or determine the constant with the help of a graph. For example, by determining the gradient using a large triangle. So these are some of the things that will be asked when it comes to the area of processing results. So when we talk about practicals, you need to know this information in general. There are 18 core practicals throughout your qualification, out of which 9 core practicals and recommended practicals you will be learning in IAS, and the rest 9 core practicals and other recommended practicals you will be learning in your IA2. So if you want to know more details on these practical skills or practical help, you can refer to the pages between 25 to 27 of the new specification, or you can access it through this link given here, or you can directly download from the Pearson Edexcel website. And for the new specification, even they are giving practical student guide support. So this also you can access from the Pearson Edexcel website. So these are some of the resources when it comes to practical skill. So there are a lot more other general resources that you already know, but let's take a look at it. The resources are textbooks, lab manual, which is given to you to use for this 2 years of course, past papers, marking schemes, and examiner's report. And also there are various resources that is available in the internet that will support you to complete this qualification effectively. Okay, so let's take a look at what we learned in today's session. We learned about the inside of this new specification. That is, what are the key areas of this new specification, right from structure till assessment overview, content overview, and also I introduced to you about the mathematical skills and practical skills and so on. Okay, apart from me telling you all these things, I advise you also to go back to the specification, go through the specification. If you don't have, please download it from Pearson Edexcel website, or you can ask your teachers to share it through the Google Classroom. So that's all for today. Thank you so much. Stay connected, stay safe, stay home. Thank you.